Why do you listen to the speaker? Or in listening to the speaker, you are listening to yourself, right? Is that what is taking place? The speaker is only pointing out, is acting as a mirror in which you see actually yourself. The actuality of your one's own consciousness. Not the description of which the speaker is pointing out, not the description which becomes merely an idea if you merely follow the description. But through the description, you yourself perceive actually your own state of mind, brain, your own consciousness. Then the listening to the speaker has certain importance. But if you are merely listening to the speaker as a telephone, then it has very little value. Right? So please, don't say to yourself at the end of these talks and question and answers, I haven't changed. Why have I not changed? It's your fault. You have spoken for so many, 60 years perhaps, and I have not changed. Is it the fault of the speaker, or you have not been able to apply it? And so, if you don't apply, naturally, it's the fault of the speaker. Then you become cynical and do all kinds of absurd things. So please bear in mind that we are listening not to the speaker, but through the description and the words, we are looking at our own consciousness, which is the consciousness of all humanity. The Western world may believe in a certain symbol religiously, certain figure, certain rituals. And the Eastern world also has the same thing, but behind it the same fear, the same pursuit of pleasure, grief, pain, being hurt, wanting this, and if the whole of that is the movement of common humanity, right? So, in listening, we are learning about ourselves, not following the description and therefore learning the description, but actually learning to look. And therefore, help bringing about a total freedom in which the whole of the brain can operate. Right? After all, sir, meditation, love and compassion is the operation of the whole of the brain. When there is the operation of the whole, there is integral order. Right? And when there is integral or inward order, there is total freedom. And it is only then that there can be something which is timelessly sacred. That's not a reward. That's not something to be achieved. But that comes about, that which is eternally timeless, sacred, only when there is when the brain is totally free to function wholly, and in that wholeness there is order, and so freedom. So after stating that, let's proceed to find out together whether the content of our consciousness, which is the operation of thought, right? The content is put together by all the activities of thought, which we'll go into. And whether that content can ever be freed so that there is a totally different dimension altogether. Right? First, let us observe together the whole movement of pleasure. There is not only biological, sexual pleasure, there is pleasure in possession, pleasure in having money, pleasure in achieving something that you have been working towards. There is pleasure in power, political, religious, power over a person, power in the acquisition of knowledge and the expression of that knowledge. As a professor, as a writer, as a poet, the gratification that comes about through knowledge, and the pleasure of leading a very strict, moral, ascetic life, the pleasure of achieving something inwardly which is not common to an ordinary man. And this has been the pattern of our existence for millions of years. Right? Our brain is conditioned to it. Therefore, our brain has become limited. Right? I wonder if you see this. Anything that is conditioned must be limited. And therefore the brain, when it is pursuing these forms and many other forms of pleasure, it must inevitably become small, limited, narrow. And probably unconsciously realizing this, one seeks different forms of entertainment